Hey, it is been a minute since I've been on here to do a video, but today I figured we would talk about David. One of the things I love about Psalms is how David starts and ends his prayers to God. This is a man who intimately knows God, yet he even wonders. Psalm 13, 1 through 2. How long wilt thou forget me, O Lord, forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, laying sorrows in my heart daily? How long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? David knows what it is to be in a personal pit of despair. He knows what it is to cry out to God and to feel forsaken. But David doesn't end there. Let's see, in Psalms 13, 5 through 6. But I have trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto the Lord, because he hath dealt bountifully with me. He claims his trust in the Lord. He declares it. He rejoices in the goodness of the Lord. He remembers how the Lord has been good to him. So many times I think we get the first part right. We cry out to God from our pits. We lament and worry and wonder out loud to God, but we end there. Don't end there. Claim his word over your life. Hold tight to it. Meditate on it. Make it your game plan. Trust in his unfailing love. In Romans 8:28, and this is not going to be, let's see, I'll just read it from here. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. Rejoice over your salvation and that you Rejoice over your salvation that you have already have the victory through Jesus. Do not give up. That is what faith is, not giving up and looking up over and over and over and over. Faith is hopeful. Faith is expectant. Faith takes a step in the direction of God, and it keeps taking those steps. It continues to seek him. In Hebrews 11:6, without faith it's impossible to please God. For he who comes to God must believe that he is God, and a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. That doesn't mean that you don't feel overwhelmed or forsaken. That doesn't mean that you aren't struggling or at the end of your rope. But it does mean that you continue to press on and pursue God, even on your hands and knees. Even if all you have left in you are whispers and desperate cries, you offer all of it up to him. And then you say, even if and even though I trust in your unfailing love, my heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing the Lord's praise, for he has been good to me. That was our lesson for today. I had somebody ask me about ghosts in the Bible. And what does the Bible say about ghosts? In the King James Version of the Bible, the word ghost appears 108 times. Of these, the word is never used in the sense of the disembodied spirit of someone who has died. It is used only in two ways. First, it appears in the phrase to give up the ghost, meaning to die. Second, it occurs as the title of the Holy Ghost, the Trinity. The Bible refers to ghosts or spirits of the dead as familiar spirits and warns us against having anything to do with them. And it starts in Leviticus 19:31. So I got these marks, so it should be easier to get to. And in 19:31, regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. It speaks of wizards there too. And then it takes us to Deuteronomy 18:11. Or a charmer or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard or a necromancer. Which I needed to look it up. I'm not sure what that means. We'll look it up here in just a second. And then we go to 2 Kings 21:6. And it says, and he made his son pass through the fire and observed times and used enchantments and dealt with familiar spirits and wizards. He wrought much wickedness in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. And then it's got us Isaiah 18:19. I'm not even marked in the right place of Isaiah 18:19. I was marked in the right place. It's Isaiah 8:19. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep, and that mutter, should not a people seek unto their God for the living to the dead? Let's see. Bear with me. I lost my place. 21:6. Is that where it said that? No, I was going to try to look up that. Yeah. Let's see. I should have been prepared to do this to begin with, but why not in the moment, right? The necromancer in Endor appears in the narrative of Saul's attempt to speak to the ghost of Samuel on the eve of war with the Philistines. I know that. Let's see. A person who practices wizard or a magician. So that's what that means. Okay. Which is talking about when she had I know it's somewhere in here, but I'd have to look it up. But that's what it says about ghosts, and they're referred to as unfamiliar spirits. So I guess in a way, yeah, the Bible does speak of ghosts. I think that is all I had marked to read. Yeah, it says the most well-known account of a ghost in the Bible actually takes place in the Old Testament. The Witch of Endor, great study subject by the way, is contacted by King Saul, who is in disguise to summon a spirit of the prophet Samuel because he is just having a very rough go at war and doesn't know what to do. So the witch does her little incantations, and this is what happens. When the woman saw Samuel, she cried at the top of her voice and said to Saul, "Why have you deceived me? You are Saul." The king said to her, "Don't be afraid. What do you see?" The woman said, "I see a spirit coming out of the ground." "What does he look like?" he asked. "An old man wearing a robe is coming up," she said. Then Saul knew it was Samuel, and he bowed down and prostrated himself with his face to the ground. That is the time that she was surprised and as horrified to see Samuel as any necromancer could be. But what is most important here is not that she was able to do it, but that Samuel's spirit had to be summoned to come up. He wasn't just roaming around, he was in his place of rest. Abraham's bosom, to be exact. And you can read about that in Samuel chapter 28. And that was our lesson for today. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I will be back with another one. I don't really know when, but it won't be too long. I love each and every one of you. Don't forget to comment. If you have any comments, don't forget to like. And don't forget to subscribe if you're still wanting to see these videos. Okay, bye.